Hello, friends. Wanted to take a few moments to talk about flooring. What's happening now in the industry? What should you know as buyers? What should you know as sellers? I've got Michael Schaaf. He is from CS Floors. He's actually called the Flooring Rhino. So that's the first thing I got to find out is how did you get the nickname the Flooring Rhino?
Right, that's a great question. Thanks for asking, and thanks for having me here. The Flooring Rhino kind of goes back about 24 years ago,
Okay.
and I was working in advertising. And I was one of the guys, we were doing these promotions. We were doing grassroots promotions for the Seattle Mariners and Seattle Thunderbirds. And then we also worked with pizza chains and day spas and just anywhere we can really advertise for, right? And I was known as their road warrior. I would go on these road trips to Spokane, and we do the Spokane Chiefs, WHL hockey team or a pizza joint out in Spokane. And I was known, like, out of 300 days of the year I was on the road. The mascot of the industry was a rhino, and they called me the Road Rhino. And so it just kind of stuck, and people kept calling me Rhino, and it just stuck, and having the thick skin and always charging forward. And anytime you're in a sales position, let's be honest, it's good to have that thick skin, right?
Oh,
you
you
got to
have
deal
to.
with the nose just as much as you do the yeses, but you got to keep charging forward. So it just stuck. And then when I got into the flooring industry about a decade ago, gosh, it's been that long, it just stuck. And I came up with the name, the Flooring Rhino. 5-star services, all Rhino, and I got a little catch line and everything. So that's it's just stuck, and it's just been with me, and now everybody calls me the Flooring Rhino.
That's awesome. What were you selling? I'm curious what were you selling, because I probably advertised in some of my gigs that I have.
We had these little VIP packages, right? And so that's what we were offering, and it would get you like 5 tickets for the price of one. And instead of these companies putting money into their TV or their radio, they would save that money and they would put it into free stuff, because they know if you go in the door, every dollar is worth 2. Right? Because you're going to spend money when you get there. And it was really great, really successful. Okay. It was at a time where the Mariners didn't even have to use it. They had just came off a 116-win season, but they said, hey, let's get back to the fans, right? And try to get more people in there. So it was cool. But the pizza chains, they'll give you a pizza. They know that your family's going to need 2 or 3 pizzas. So they give you one of them, but you're going to go to them.
Sort of like the old entertainment book.
It was just like an entertainment book. I
remember those, rip them out.
They were VIP cards, and we did, in fact, actually have the whole coupon books, too, that I used to sell coupons for a living. It was cool.
You guys came to my door.
Oh,
I remember
absolutely.
that way back when.
Full suit and tie. I had a little rhino pin on my lapel. Yeah, absolutely. That was good.
What's funny is, so one of my new little guilty pleasures is remember The Old Apprentice?
Yeah.
Back in the late 90s when Donald Trump was owning New York and had all these guys come in to be one of his executives.
Yeah.
A friend of mine came up from Portland and he started binge watching it. Yeah. A millennial, and it's like, oh man, I forgot about that. And what's funny is I watched the episode this morning when I meet breakfast. It's just a fun little mind rest and just going back to old grassroots sales. And it's kind of interesting of these grassroots sales and it was funny what he talked about today was you got to believe in your product.
Sure.
And that's like in flooring, really understanding the product. Here's what you see for your client. Right. And I believe this is what's exactly right for this application here. It just is, hey, for me, I need to know, all right, as a buyer, man, yes, this house matches you of what you're telling me. And so, yes, I totally believe in this house for you. So that's kind of interesting.
I agree.
As the Rhino of all right,
it's the same thing in this market right now. We have to really go out and try to drive business, right? I mean, we know retail spending is down inside of these stores. And so we have to go out and I come on site, I bring samples and I say, hey, I'm the Flooring Rhino, I'm Michael with CS Floors. And they just start having conversations. And it turns out I've obtained a significant amount of information about flooring in the past 10 years that I'm able to speak to it pretty well. So I'm glad that you have me here. It's all the same grassroots. Let's hit boots on the ground and let's get out there and let's talk to people about flooring. I start to nerd out about flooring, so if I start to ramble off and talk about these new products.
This is great. Because what's interesting is when we're doing our listing, we actually have to check a box. What do they have?
Sure.
And so, of course, hey, we know wall-to-wall carpeting. If it's grandma's house, linoleum, or vinyl.
Right.
But then what's interesting is we see vinyl plank.
Right.
We hear the term LVP. There's laminate, and then there's also laminate hardwood. Right. So there's all the boxes we have to check.
Right.
And again, because I'm not a flooring expert, sometimes they know and sometimes they don't. So I guess kind of, because I think in my house, I still have some old Pergo floating around
Sure.
in there as well. So, yeah, I guess tell us a little bit more about that. I guess the journey of laminate, the world of laminate, because that's kind
hard
of the thing
surface,
now, right?
kind of wood look hard surface, right? Well, you bring up that name Pergo, and that's an interesting name. So Pergo came over in the late 60s, early 70s from Europe, and Pergo was a type of laminate floor, and they started using it. It was known to be really, really durable, but it's still an image of wood. It's not actual wood.
Yep.
The pressed pine board in the core of it is wood, which made it so strong. They started using it in bowling alleys. So that's where Pergo came from. Now Pergo is a brand name.
Okay.
It's almost it's just like anything else. People say, "Oh, I want Pergo," and they think that that's what they are getting, but they're getting a totally different brand. And Pergo makes laminate, it makes LVP, it makes a bunch of different stuff.
Okay.
So that's kind of where the history of hard surface came from, and floating floors that lock together, that float on top of your existing substrate. And the reason why that was important in Europe back in the day, when you moved, you would take your floor with you.
Oh.
Right. So that was kind of the idea.
That's new.
That's new, right? And so that's the idea here. That's when it came over. It was like, oh, but they had not everybody has a box floor plan, right? That you could just so it became a little tough. And as things started to evolve, laminate got stronger, it got better, you got more options. And then about 15 years ago, a product called LVP came onto the market.
Okay.
And that's what this product is right here, luxury vinyl plank.
Luxury vinyl plank.
Luxury vinyl plank. So there's some people, and it's not a big deal if they confuse it. They'll say, oh, I want some LVT or I want LVP. And there is a difference, and I don't get, up in arms about it, but it's LVT is luxury vinyl tile, which is typically tiles, and it's more of a stone look.
Okay.
And LVP is luxury vinyl plank, which is typically a wood look, and they're longer planks.
Okay, so if you kind of either want the squares, or you want the lines,
you can do the squares and get a stone look, almost like tile, or you can do the long planks just like wood, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So have you ever? So it's interesting to talk about people taking their floors. I've never seen that yet, but
it
totally would make sense. I could see walking in saying, "Well, it wasn't tagged down," and even floating floors. That's, again, interesting terms that I've heard before as well, and that's because they would just take it away.
Right. Well, and really a lot of the pros and cons of what LVP, the cons of it don't really prohibit that. In terms of a luxury vinyl plank, the reason why luxury vinyl plank was the first product that ever passed up carpet in terms of sales. Carpet, you said it earlier, wall to wall, baby. That's what we used to do, right? But carpet was always king in the industry. That's what we say. Carpet is king.
Yeah.
And so carpet, and when LVP came on, it started taking over. And people started doing wall to wall in their entire home. Well, why? There's got to be a big why because of it. Well, the number one thing, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, is that LVP was a way of getting that really good wood look, 100% waterproof because it's made out of vinyl.
Okay.
Right? It's a thin product, easy to install, and it's relatively inexpensive. So that's why we kind of started hitting on all the corners. Okay, so those are a lot of pros. I should put LVP in my house, right? Well, there's some cons to it as well. Number one, anytime that you start going with a thinner construct like this, you're going to have to look at a thinner locking mechanism. And so depending on the product that you get, and this comes in all different thicknesses, and we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And all different wear layers, which is a really important technical feature of LVP. Depending on which one you get, it might not be applicable for what your living situation is. So when we're talking to our clients about LVP, we want to make sure that they understand the different levels. They always say, hey, I saw this at such and such hardware store.
Yep.
Or I saw this at this hardware store. And I say, I love that hardware store. I bought a plunger there last week. It's a great store. I personally shop there. But the reality is that we got to be careful of what they're selling because we don't know exactly the speeds and feeds and the specs. We see this great dollar number, but what does that mean to you? So when we look at LVP, there's really two specs on this product that really illustrate why it's priced.
Okay.
And it's overall thickness, and it's called wear layer. And you can see. So the overall thickness is simple. How thick is my LVP? And it can be anywhere from 2 millimeters thick, 5 millimeters thick, 6 millimeters, 7 millimeters, etc. Clearly, the more it is, the thicker it is, the more durable and comfortable it's going to be underfoot. That's what the thickness is for, durability and comfort underfoot. So when we have a thicker product, it's going to be a little bit more money. Now, in the market right now, you can find a good, decent LVP anywhere from about $2 to $5 a square foot. So somebody always asks me, well, what's the difference between the $2 stuff and the $5 stuff? It looks exactly the same because it has the same image layer. Well, one of them is probably about a 4.5 millimeter or 4 millimeter, and the other one's probably 6 or 7 millimeters thick.
So is that what here's kind of what I'm thinking, if that's the case. Like, let's say you're agent in home, you've got someone in a wheelchair in home.
Great question.
You probably would need the thicker. Is that like, why would someone want thicker? I guess to me, if I'm walking around in my socks, hardwood is going to be hardwood.
Sure.
But why would someone have thicker or thinner
absorption
in a particular application?
Being thicker. Now, when we start talking about wheelchairs, that's important. We can't put a floating floor in a wheelchair home. And the reason why is that wheelchair will come through, it will damage these locking systems.
Yeah.
Same thing with like on the inexpensive stuff, computer chairs rolling over it, any type of furniture that's sitting on this locking mechanism. That's the problem with LVP, and that's what we find. When people buy the less expensive stuff and they don't know necessarily what they're getting, they get these locking systems and they chip right off. Okay. Once it chips, it starts to delaminate the entire product, and you'll see those lines going down.
Totally
You've seen it 1,000 times in the house, right? So that's what happens. So we got to be careful about that. So the cool thing is that we have an application for wheelchairs and for ADA homes, right?
Nice.
So when we're looking at something like that and we ask the client, is somebody going to be in a wheelchair? We want to go with a thicker glue down option. It eliminates the locking system altogether, and they glue it down straight to the substrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it doesn't have as much give then. Create the.
It doesn't have the floating aspect, right? It doesn't have the give because it's actually adhered to the floor.
Okay.
So and you're not going to worry about it breaking down or locking, and it doesn't void any warranty. If you are putting a floating floor into something that's going to be wheelchair accessible, that's going to void the warranty, and that's one of the big things. That second measurement as well, because things like office chairs and dogs and wheelchairs, they scratch the floor. So that's that second measurement. That's that wear layer. Okay. So you're going to see this, and people get confused, and I love explaining this because this is the nerd in me, right?
Yeah.
So wear layer is measured in a measurement called mil, M-I-L. The overall thickness of your flooring is measured in millimeter. Mil and millimeter are two completely separate. Yeah,
I would not have. Okay, that's new. So I'd see. Yeah, it's all.
What you see in LVP is you see a 6 mil, a 12 mil, a 20 mil, and a 30 mil. Let me explain those applications because they all have their place in the market.
Right.
6 mil is something that's going to be very low traffic, maybe a guest room. Maybe somebody's going to come in there and they're gonna spend some time, maybe I don't know, once a year or twice a year, and other than that, it's just a guest room. So that would be a good application for it. You don't want to have super high traffic. You don't want to put it in the main entry of your home. You don't want to put it in any commercial setting. If you got any type of animals, whether they're small or big, you don't want to definitely, because they'll scratch that up really quick. But it's just the inexpensive stuff. And I do actually put these in, I put some 6 mil stuff in a lot of lower income apartments and things of that nature, because they know, unfortunately, that those renters are going to come in, they're going to thrash the floors. It happens. And so they just, they're not spending a whole lot, and they could refresh it really quickly.
So you got to know dogs, teenagers,
kids,
that's kind of like
pets, right?
What
and big kids like us, of course, too.
We're hoofing around.
Hey, when my best friend comes over, I mean, we're trampling around the house, we're doing all sorts of things. We're always looking at things to fix. But that wear layer is important. So it goes to 6 to 12. So 12 is really from a home standpoint. That's where you start seeing a little bit of a heavier traffic in small pets and kids. And that's at the industry, the minimum of what you want to put into a residential home in a non-guest area kind of setting. Right. So 12 mil, and that's what I brought here.
Okay. So this is about what this is. So you probably, as the old saying goes, you sell tons of this. Just because this is pretty standard. Tons of this. More than likely, if we walk into a house when we're doing showings, this is more than likely what we see, unless
I've already, with some of your partners here, this is what we've done a lot, because here's the idea: when you're selling your home, from what we see in the flooring industry, I can speak for what I see, is that we definitely want to give something that's going to have that appeal factor, right? That's important, but it doesn't have to be cheap. They know when they walk in, and if it feels cheap, you lose a lot of the appeal.
Right.
So if you put in something that's designed for the industry, designed for that market, this is suitable in any residential home for normal day-to-day traffic, kids, and small pets, right? And so you're good to go. So once you start going from that 12 mil, and that's where that's at, kind of the industry minimum, right? But it's there, it's a good standard. Then you go up to the 20 mil. So that is a significant difference. That wear layer is this, it's designed to help with more scratches, dents, stains, etc. That's what the wear layer is. So the overall thickness is durability and comfort. The wear layer is designed to help with scratches, dents, scuffs.
So you'll see less or it lasts longer, basically.
Right, exactly. So when we start going into a 20 mil wear layer, that's going to be designed for heavier traffic and bigger animals. And so that's going to be kind of the industry standard, and that'll give you, you know, depending on the thickness of the product for overall durability, that'll give you a really good standard for heavier animals, heavier traffic, etc. We want to look at commercial applications as well, right? So if you're going to have a lot of heavier traffic, 12 mil isn't necessarily designed for heavy commercial, but it does cover a little bit of light commercial. If you got 1 or 2 people coming into your shop a day, etc., you're not necessarily a big retail store, this will get you by. But realistically, if you're going to have a light commercial setting, you want to have a 20 mil floor. Heavy commercial setting, you want to go up to that top, that pinnacle, that 30 mil.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that you can't put any one of these in your home, but that's literally what they were designed in the market for. And those are kind of the specs based upon what we're seeing in the flooring industry.
Okay.
So
for
go ahead.
No, so for trends now, what are you seeing? Design trends.
Yes.
What are you seeing? Is like hardwood still a thing? Is engineered hardwood still a thing?
Yes.
Is this really becoming is this really becoming the industry standard now?
This is becoming an industry standard for specific applications to use it properly. When we go back and you bring up hardwood, hardwood is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite product. And the reason why is because that product has the opportunity to increase the value of your home up to 10%. Now, is that 1%? Is that 10%? That's not what I do. I know that if once you become, and if you put in a hardwood system that is a permanent structure, because it's either nailed down or glued down, into your home, it becomes a permanent structure and it has the opportunity to raise the value. This stuff gives you great appeal, but it doesn't actually become a physical structure of the home like hardwood does. So when we come into a home, for example, and I see that they have original hardwood in that house, my first recommendation to them is let me get my guy Omar out here because I want to do a sanded refinish on this. I want you to be able to take what you have and maybe freshen up the stain. Go with something more neutral. As we're seeing a lot of the old golden stuff or dark reds and deep things like that in the past, let's do something a little bit more neutral color that'll appeal to a wider audience. It'll be timeless. Whether they go modern or rustic inside of their home, they can do whatever when you have that neutral look, right? So that's always going to be my first thing. Some people say, no, I want to put LVP on top of this wood floor. Well, here's the problem from my standpoint with that. I don't want to cover up my mic. Here's my problem. In order to put LVP down successfully and properly, you have to make sure that the substrate, what you're putting it on, is completely flat. Not necessarily fully level, that's important, but you need flat. So if you have any type of embossed or any type of holes, etc., they need to be filled. It can't be bumpy, etc. This is where do-it-yourselfers run into a lot of trouble and their floors fail right away because they skip a really big step, and that's floor prep. So what you have to do is you literally have to take some sort of a concrete patch mix or leveler, and you have to pour it over the entire wood. Well, once you do that, that now absorbs into that wood, and you have now destroyed that wood.
You're done. You could never go back.
Omar is amazing at what he does. You've seen his sander.
Yeah. No, that's a beast.
It's pressure sensitive. Yeah, it pushes down. He goes, that'll buff out. That'll buff out. There was ridges. He goes, don't worry, I got the machine. That'll buff out.
No, that's awesome.
But there's only so much you can do once those concretes, because they're water based, right? So they're going to absorb into that wood. Wood and water don't mix.
Right.
So we have to be careful with that, and it's always my job to explain that. Like, hey, I'm not opposed to you putting LVP on top of this, and I know that you have somebody. Everybody's always has somebody. Oh, I know somebody who did it.
Yep.
Sure. In order for me as a professional, well-known Seattle's best flooring company for the past 6 years to install something like this, I have to do it the right way. And in order to not void this warranty, I have to make your substrate flat. And so I have to come in and I have to pour concrete, essentially, you know, a skim coat or something over this, and I'm going to destroy that wood. So why don't we look at refinishing this wood? And if they're hell bent on getting something like this, that's fair. I'm not gonna tell you no. What you want, what's best for the client, is best for the company, for me. So I want to make sure I take care of you and them. And
it's good for them to know. You in that way you can't go back.
Right.
Because I know we always get excited when if those that like hardwood, you go into these older homes and you peek under and go, oh baby, original hardwoods are here. Yeah. Let's get Omar in and let's get this baby redone and just shine.
And there's a couple different things that he can do, because I'm working on a couple projects with Omar right now where he can either do a clean and buff if it needs, or he can do a full sand and refinish and he can fill all the cracks. You know, when we went to a home the other day, there was big giant stains, one in the entryway and then one in the other room. And however they got there, it doesn't matter, they're there.
Right.
And they're trying to sell, and that's zero appeal. You walk in and you're like, these floors are all messed up. All you see is dollar signs. Omar says that'll buff right out. This stuff is a little thicker, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull those planks up and we're going to install new wood. He's like, it's really simple, 3/4 inch, 4 inch, etc. So he was like, I got the wood, let's do it. So he's going to replace some of it. He's going to stain to match. It's going to look pretty cool. It's going to look a little bit off because you can never get exact, right? But then he's going to clean and buff that area, and then he's going to do a whole stain and refinish in that other room. And so mission accomplished, right?
That particular project is going to be great, and the affordability was amazing. I love the affordability of it because it's the family room and it's the entry. So we call those the money shots, right? You just sit there like this is people are going to stand there and look at the whole room. And you enter. Here's the entry and where those stains were. They had, and so it's beautiful. You could just get them redone. And that's kind of what we look at. The big question with sellers is, to what degree do we add flooring? Because we don't know the buyer's preference and they may rip it out and totally do something totally different anyways. What is your take? I know there's always that balance of, okay, hey, if it's ratty, we got to do something. But there's sometimes it's like, hey, we're okay with it. But you just never know. Like what I appreciate is I don't see much gray here. Like it seems gray is out. I know gray is out.
There's a little bit.
It's sneaking. There's a little sneaking in there.
It sneaks it in, but it sneaks it in with neutral tones.
It totally does. Like I'm seeing a lot more of the pine here. But I guess the big, so that's the big question of, okay, sellers want to ask the question, do I need to replace flooring before I sell? Is it worth putting the money in to do that? So if a seller asks you that question, what makes sense?
We always see a return. For sure, because what I've found in the industry is that the buyers are looking for clean, and you can only get an old carpet as clean as and it still looks clean. And when they can't imagine them living in it when they're there, right, the appeal of it, then there's something off there. It's less likely to sell quickly. So refresh the carpets and just use some inexpensive. And I actually brought a nice carpet here that gives you that really good. And this is something that we actually stock on hand at CS Floors.
Oh, okay. So it's not a big wait time.
It's not a big wait time. I can literally get out and install this in next day in many cases from the day that you place an order with me. Absolutely. Yeah, we're one of the companies that can do that, of course. Flooring Rhino wants to charge. Right, and so this is a Durasilk product. We get this local, or from Dixie Homes. You can feel the softness.
Yeah, that's great. Wow.
It's silk. It's not just a clever name.
Yeah, nice and dense as well.
It's nice and dense. So what you're going to see is sometimes you'll see the old realtor brown. Right, you've been in the industry for a long time.
Oh yeah, contractor gray.
Contractor gray. Which don't worry, I have that right here. It's on the other side. Ta-da! Yeah, and we do stock that for those that want to put it in. When we're looking at the grays and the millennial gray floor that we sold a bunch of 10 years ago was just that's what the whole board was gray. It was just
all gray.
It was 4 shades of gray. Pick one.
As long as you like gray, you'll be in good shape.
You want gray or light gray. Right. So we do this, and I call this grayish, where you still mix in a little bit of the gray, but you put some of the beige in it. You get the best of both worlds. And so refresh it because you want that clean smell as well. You want that look. It wants to be soft. And when you have something like this and you feel the softness and you put a good pad underneath it, because the pad is an extension of the carpet, then that way that when somebody walks on it underfoot, they can start seeing it. Oh, this would be perfect for the bedroom or the kids' room, or this is Addison's room, or this is Michael's room, or whoever, right? They start picturing that. And that's what we want. So We want to go neutral, and that's when people are selling the home. Go with something that's a 12 mil. You don't have to put the 20 mil. They're not going to buy the house because it has 20 mil LVP in it.
Well, none of us know the difference until now. Like,
right.
You probably can tell when you walk on it, but like for
even
most of us, we would know if it's until we ask.
Right.
And that's where I think what we've done, I know with many of our sellers, that's why we have the Windermere Ready product, which is, hey, it's no money out of pocket.
Nope.
We can get a little bit of money to do some of these renovations, to add flooring.
Yeah.
It's no money out of pocket for the seller.
Right.
And then it just gets all paid at closing.
Yep.
And
but
it totally freshens it up.
It freshens everything up. Yep. You will absolutely see the return. Invest it because you're going to get it all back and then some. And it's worth it.
How many houses do you go in and replace brand new? They wanted this dark and not the light, or vice versa. So of course you go as neutral as possible because that appeals to most. So I'm curious though, is how many times do you go in and, hey, because it's the wrong color, they want to swap it out?
That they chose the wrong color?
Like, the sellers, so the buyers walk in and go, hey, I know it's brand new, but this is the wrong, this is not the right color for us.
I hate to admit it, but this does happen
okay,
on a regular basis.
Okay.
Because the reality is that the buyer is not buying the home for the floors if they're floating floors. Maybe more if they're hardwood and they're like, oh, I've always wanted hardwood floors. Okay, well, that's you're showing homes with hardwood floors. Let me bring you to the ones that have actual hardwood, right?
Yep.
So there's oftentimes they get it. They're like, oh yeah, this floor is fine. I get it. It's new. It's nice. It looks good. But I need to go with this acacia. I want something a little bit more exotic, right? I want it red, etc. So they know that. So we come in and that's where we start showing them real acacias or etc.
Yeah.
Or we start showing them some of the new products that are on there and they could refresh their home with those as well.
Okay.
Because a lot of these companies are trying to displace LVP.
So I thought LVP was like, this was the new talk of the town. Great for kitchens. You could spill on it and slop around, and it doesn't hurt. Like I know we always worry in the kitchen, right? What do you put in the kitchen?
Right.
So but LVP,
durable,
like
waterproof. Vinyl plank has been king for about 10, 15 years now.
So there's something new that's actually replacing this.
Yeah, and the reason why is because this is made out of PVC.
Okay.
So polyvinyl chloride.
Yep.
The plasticizers to make this type of product are not here in the States. We don't have to get into too much about the facilities, but we know where this comes from. And there's a thing out there called the tariff right now that you do, and all of the prices.
It's affected a lot in construction. I totally understand. Yep.
Absolutely. So the price of all of this stuff has increased, absolutely, because of the tariffs. And so one of the things about it is that some of these American-made companies, such like Mohawk, right?
Okay.
They're trying to displace LVP because of just the nature of how the product is made and avoid the tariffs, etc. So they start making these PureTech products in America.
Okay, now, tell us about those. So this is kind of the stuff we're going to see. It'd be nice to know more.
This is the future of flooring.
About what we should be seeing in houses. Then.
Well, the trouble with LVP is that it's PVC, it's plastic.
Okay.
And so plastic is a dangerous substance to manufacture and to make, and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And we know that it pollutes all of that. So these are 100% PVC free.
Okay.
So what they did is, what do we know about laminate? Laminate was great because of its durability and its look, right?
Right.
We were able to get a not real wood for way less, right?
Yes,
but it's super durable,
right?
What did we love about LVP? LVP was 100% waterproof and good to handle scratches and scuffs depending on your wear layer.
Right.
And it was a real thin, and it was durable, et cetera, and it was just inexpensive.
Easy, snap in, go, get her done. Yeah.
So how can I take the durability and the look of a wood laminate product or a laminate, and how can I take the waterproofness and the simplicity and all of that of the LVP, and how can I put it together?
Okay.
And that's where they invented this product called PureTech. So PureTech, 100% PVC free. It's made out of 70% recycled material, and it's made out of plants. It's literally made out of plants.
Okay.
And so one of the things you can see, the core of the product is a lot thicker than LVP.
Okay.
So we can set it here.
Yeah.
You can see. So that's the first thing that they wanted to do. And in fact, if you look at this,
interesting. Yeah.
Look at this locking mechanism
that's like
double
to triple the thickness.
It's actually 3 times the thickness.
It is 3 times.
Yeah,
okay.
it's 3 times the thickness. And so what they did is they solved on this by making this stronger, and they made it out of a fibrous material.
Okay.
They made the locking mechanism stronger so they can avoid those locking mechanisms snapping off and breaking. You can see the locking mechanism right there. So the other thing that they did is that they wanted to make sure that they can waterproof it, so they put a wet protect on the entire thing. You can see it's that dark coating.
Yep.
100% waterproof.
Okay.
Yeah. The other piece is that they needed to make it even stronger and more scratch resistant, so it's also 3 times scratch resistant compared to LVP.
And this is just the one thickness.
It's just the one thickness.
So now you just pick your color.
Right. Well, they come with a bunch of them. These are the Premier products. So they have the Select and the Plus and the Premier. Okay. So they do come in a couple different levels, but this is a great product if you're buying your home. And here's one of the things that I love about this product. These LVPs, you'll see they come sometimes with like a 10-year warranty or a 20-year warranty, etc.
Yep.
Mohawk stands in front of this product with a lifetime warranty on all of it. On water, not just on the topical water, because a lot of these companies will cover their product topically, right? We cover it with a topical. Anything that can be cleaned or evaporated within they'll give you an hour rating. Some of them are up to like 90 hours, so a few days. It has to be cleaned or evaporated within that time. Anything after that or past that, we're not going to warranty. So that dog bowl that's always sitting on the ground, that constantly the dog is just right. You'll always see little stains. I can tell you where you had your dog bowl, right? There it is.
Or it was longer than 90 minutes.
Or that's where the husband has to eat when he's in trouble, right? I see where. Well, we don't have a dog.
Sipping my beer.
Yeah, we don't have a dog. That's where my beer goes. Yeah, we know that. So what they do is they not only give you a full lifetime warranty on the topical, they also cover it under the subfloor, or I'm sorry, in between the subfloor and the product, because they are so sure about this wet protective covering that they put on this product that they are going to cover it on both top and bottom.
Okay.
Now, let's be honest. If you got water getting on top of your subfloor in between the product, you got bigger issues than a dog bowl, something else. Go check. There's something.
The refrigerator. Check the
refrigerator. Right. Check your ice maker. Check your water. I'm doing a job up in Kirkland right now. The water filtration system that they had. The whole tank's everything. So that's when I start recommending this product. And here's the coolest thing about it. They know that what they're trying to do is displace LVP and move folks in this American-made product. And so what they did in terms of pricing, because this always comes up, you can get LVP anywhere, depending on the thickness, for about $2 to $5 a square foot.
Right.
They priced it the exact same.
Really?
Yeah. They want to displace it. They want to bring you back and give you a really good sustainable product. They're going to cover it for a lifetime. It's a sustainable floor. It's waterproof. It's super durable. It's thick. It's comfortable underfoot. And you get all sorts of different styles. Shout out to my boy Wyatt. He put it in his man cave. That was last year. He loves it. And this stuff's been out about 3 or 4 years. And so now we're in the part where we're starting to get feedback, because it's been in the house.
Yeah.
And all the feedback we're getting is positive. We're getting tons of 5-star reviews for it. So that's important.
So this can hold your ADA homes.
Yes.
Teenagers.
Right.
Big slobbery dogs.
Absolutely.
This can handle it. It just kind of one, as opposed to, all right, what's the mill? What's the locking? You're covered. More bulletproof in a way here.
Yeah. They took the best of both worlds, the durability of the look of the laminate and the waterproofness of the LVP, and they just put it together. When we talk about pets, because everybody has pets, these animals are members of our family. I have a little pet, Dustin. He's a rabbit, and his name is Dustin, and he's huge. He's like the size of a dog, and he's got big claws, and he can scratch things. And he would tear something like an inexpensive LVP up, but he wouldn't be able to touch this. And they literally have a warranty that any pet for urine as well. And we know cat urine is the worst thing in the world.
When you walk in, you're like.
And a close second is my rabbit's urine as well. Dustin, it's crazy.
So those plugins aren't going to cover it up.
No, I had to buy lavender scented bedding for his this thing. It's crazy. Yeah, I was like, man, that's bad. So I was like, I didn't want a cat. Yeah, Dustin, you just looked at me like, dude, you got me crapping in a box here, buddy. Let me go outside. I built a huge hutch for him out in the back. But so it's called their pet protect. So any type of pet, any type of urine, you could bring your goat inside the house. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And you, if it beats,
goat.
challenge accepted, right?
Challenge
You're like, yeah, I'll show him, Michael, at the Flooring Rhino.
We will find. I'll bring my rhino in.
I'll bring my rhino in. That's actually a carpet that Mohawk made with DuPont.
I remember those.
So they brought it in the San Diego Zoo and they let the rhinos do their work on it for like 3 weeks. And so then they brought the rhinos out of the cage and then they just did a hot water extraction, which that's how you clean a carpet is hot water extraction, steam clean, right? And they did a hot water extraction next to their competitor, their leading competitor, right?
Right.
So Mohawk had basically had a carpet next to their competitor, and it's called their Everstrand, their Smart Strand.
Okay.
And they made it with DuPont in the mid 2000s.
Yep. I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
It's huge, and it's still
love
huge
that
to
old
this
marketing.
day.
Yeah.
The whole thing about it, right?
Yeah.
The Rhino. And so all of these other companies, every carpet has some sort of stain defense built into it. Right. But what they
I'm
did,
an old carpet cleaner. Like one of my best friends' family grew up as a carpet cleaner.
Got it.
So yeah.
So you know,
I'll bring Bobby here soon into our little podcast. But yeah, that's where carpet.
It's so important as well. In order to keep your warranty of your carpet, you're supposed to have it professionally cleaned by a guy like Bobby, an expert in the industry, at least once a year.
Right.
And you got to show receipts for that. Yep. So they come in and they say, and that's, we get, this stain here, it'll come out, but you got to have that hot water extraction.
Right.
So tons of new products on the market. I also brought in a Bravewood product. This is something that we actually stock locally through T&A Supply Company, which is like the 4th largest distributor of flooring and products, etc., in the nation, and it's right here in Renton and Kent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So with so we walk into a house, and we know it's got to get some flooring done.
Sure.
So you've got the vinyl or old linoleum.
Sure.
In the kitchen, bathrooms. Can you basically like take this and lay over the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't. Well,
in most cases,
not over the sheet vinyl.
Okay, you can't over the sheet vinyl.
You're going to want to pull that up. Yeah, you definitely want to pull that up in many cases, and it just depends because if you got one layer of linoleum, you're allowed to install things up to 3 layers on top of it, but that's a like product. You can put linoleum on top of linoleum. And now it's called sheet vinyl. Right. Fiberglass backed, etc.
Linoleum has all the chemicals that you glued down. Vinyl is vinyl.
Sheet vinyl is you could do a perimeter glue, etc. A lot of people just do perimeter. You should just glue the whole thing. But what you do is you pull up the register. You see they got like 4 or 5 layers of it because they've been installing linoleum since day one in there. And they refreshed it every couple of years.
Oh boy,
so regardless, you're still going to want to pull all of that out. So because you want to get down to the subfloor whenever you're doing any type of plank product or like a luxury vinyl tile, because then you're going to want to fill in that and prep and skim coat that subfloor.
So I've seen under some of these floorings there, and maybe that's the floating floor. There seems to be like a little, like carpet has the pad, and you can tell. And all I know, hey, pay for the upgraded pad. Like when you walk into a house.
Sure.
And we hit the stairs. When you bring your clients in and have your shoes off and you step on that, totally upgrade your pad. When you're doing carpet, like I love carpet in bedrooms.
Yes, me too.
And having that extra cush, totally spend money on the pad.
And I love your take on it, and I want to piggyback on your take because your take is for the comfort level and the walking. I'm going to tell you from a flooring expert standpoint that I want you to upgrade your pad to extend the life of your carpet.
Okay.
Because the carpet is an extension of the pad, or the pad is the extension of the carpet.
Yeah.
If you don't update your pad, number one, you void the carpet warranty. They expect you to replace them both at the same time. But when you actually put something thicker, anytime you have a thicker underlayment on it, it's going to extend the life of the product because it's going to make it more durable. It's going to absorb better. Right, you're not putting as much. Yeah, it's just the way that it works.
That's true. Right.
Yeah. So I love your way because that's on the surface level, right? All of our I can see it, I can touch it, right? When I walk on it. But I'm going to tell you from the technical because I'm the flooring nerd, right? The nerd rhino, the flooring rhino, and I'm going to tell you that you're going to want to upgrade it for technical aspects.
Okay,
so
that's
you're
good
right.
to know.
I agree with you 100%.
But that's the a home we want our home to be comfortable.
Yes.
We totally want our home to be comfortable. One thing I have seen is, maybe that's the floating floor part, is I see a small little, it seems like there's a pad.
Sure.
A pad
so
under the flooring.
There is a cushion that is attached to a lot of these products nowadays. You can also buy them separate if it doesn't have it. you'll see multiple different options that they have for the backing. And this one, they actually have an IXPCA or whatever rated cushion underlayment. And what that is that provides a couple things. It's cushion, so it's for sound absorption, right? And it's also for a moisture barrier.
Okay.
Right. When you put things on top of and you float floors, that's an area for moisture to go. So you want a barrier there.
So is there another layer that goes underneath this then? Is
if you're putting it down on concrete, like underneath, like in a basement, you do want to put down another layer, like a plastic layer, etc., and then float this on top of it.
So that's actually a good question. So we have these older homes in our area that have basements. What do you recommend as a product when you go into these basements? So maybe this is the basement bedrooms. Sometimes they're apartments.
Sure.
What do you recommend as being some of the best?
You want a waterproof product down there.
Okay.
Yep.
So something. Well, really, both of these would.
Either one of these will work.
Will totally
Absolutely.
work. Okay.
Absolutely.
It just has to do with that underlayment.
Yep.
Make sure there's an extra layer underneath.
Yep. Extra layer.
Because once in a while, we see in these old homes, water will want to kind of.
What do we know about water? It likes to go where we don't want it.
Yeah, in Washington especially.
Especially in Washington. In fact, I got water in here right
now.
Yeah, jump on one leg. My dad. So how'd that get in there? Put an underlayment in there next time. Yeah.
When I'm working with buyers, I always want to look for a boogeyman.
Sure.
When I walk into a home, sometimes I'll see these two sides are now up just a smidge. What's happening there?
Well, that is typically two things.
Okay.
It's either A, a failed locking system.
Okay.
Or B, which is most common, is that they didn't do the proper floor prep when installing.
Okay.
And they probably didn't put a 1/4 inch expansion gap around the entire room.
Oh.
So right.
Okay.
So those are the three main things that we see. We know, and here's the thing: the 2 and 3 can cause number 1 by not having a proper expansion gap or doing your proper floor prep. And these are the steps that do-it-yourselfers skip.
Right.
And I hate it because I do a lot of my own projects because I'm the Flooring Rhino, right?
But you know it.
But I'm not Omar.
Right. Okay.
Omar went to school for wood, and he is amazing at installing LVP. He installs carpet for me. He does sheet vinyl. He does all of it.
Okay.
This guy is great. He's one of many installers that I use, but I bring him up because he's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
And he's tried and tested. He's professional.
He's a rock star. I loved it. I mean, what he was talking about there, it was like a doctor that walked in and go, yeah, this is what's going on. And here's
got on his hands and knees. He was dissecting the wood. He was telling you exactly what species it was. He was telling. He was sniffing it. It's like, yeah, it came out in 1947. Like, what?
Right.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't know what it.
He's this close from it.
It was milled. Yeah, it was milled in 1947. I know this, man. I've seen this. No, he is
swirls
just great.
the stain.
Yeah, I like to give it a bouquet first. Yeah, cleanse the palate. He's got a coffee.
Yeah,
and then I love
the floor whisperer.
Yeah, the floor. I'm gonna knit. Oh, I gotta make a bumper sticker for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's great. He can diagnose a lot of that stuff. That's why my knowledge base has to be an inch deep and a mile long. Right? I have to know a little bit about every one of these. Now, as I've gone on and on, I've started to increase the amount.
Yes.
So it's getting a little bit deeper. But he is an expert at installation. And so when we start seeing things that are popping up, right, that's what we see. It's probably in expansion gap or they didn't do proper floor prep. There's a reason why. It's causing these locking mechanisms. And so I brought this chain set because this is a really good thing that you can see. So when we're talking about thicker locking systems, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it locks together. This particular product is actually a wood product. But it has,
is that engineered hardwood?
So this is an engineered hardwood, but it's a little bit different. So this is one of the newer products that are on the market. This, like the PureTech, is 100% PVC free as well. So it's a sustainable floor.
Yep.
And what they have done is that they have done very similar coatings with the product, but they've added a little small veneer of engineered wood, of real wood.
Okay.
Now, most engineered wood has the veneer, and what you see when you see a grain, you feel a grain, it's the actual piece of wood. What they've done with this Brave Wood product that I get locally is they've actually done a digital image on top of it to enhance the picture. So they're kind of
we got AI floors.
AI floors, right? So because this is
go.
a digital image, this looks like wood. The LVP looks like wood, but it's not. It's a digital high definition image of wood. It's a photograph of wood.
Yeah.
That's called the image layer. It's right below the wear layer.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so the very similar thing here. You have your wear layer, and then below it you have your image layer. But below that, are on top of the image layer, it's basically enhanced into the actual wood veneer. And it's a very small wood veneer. So when we're looking at like laminate wood. In the past, what you're actually seeing is it's an engineered wood, and there's two different types of engineered wood. There's engineered that they both have the veneer of wood. It's very thin of real wood. And then you have either cross-directional or you have like the laminate wood.
Okay.
The laminate is very simple. It's a pressed pine on the inside of it.
Yep.
Okay. It's sawdust that's glued together and composite, right, and put together, right?
Right.
The cross-directional is layers of pine that are laid cross-directional. Now, in terms of pricing, cross-directional is going to be a little bit more than the laminate wood, right? But those are the two main types of engineered wood, which are great options. I have tons of options for both, along with actual nail-down thick hardwood, which we know is, that's one of my favorite things.
I see this, but the other thing I see is you see these little gaps in between them. You go and watch YouTube and they say, okay, take a little piece of tape and meld it and pull it all together. But then, then I'm thinking, if I'm pulling this gap, then I'm still going to have a gap over there, which maybe that's better to have it over there than here. But like what's happening there when you start seeing these
robbing
gaps?
Peter to pay Paul, right?
Yeah.
So again, that's going to go back to having a proper installation. Having your proper expansion gap around everything, because that's things expand and contract, especially if you have any type of wood inside of it. Polymers expand and contract. You've seen how plastic reacts to heat and cold.
Yeah.
Right. That's why vinyl windows, we love them. Right. They came out in 1950. They are the highest fail rate because of the fact that they're made out of plastic, and the heat, it expands and contracts, right, etc. So when we start to look at cuppings and things that are pulling apart, it's expansion gap or improper floor prep, and making sure that you're making your flat substrate.
Well, the person I bought it from, definitely DIY guy.
I'll give you a hint on I never laugh at you because I'm not going to be that guy. But you'll know if I'm laughing on the inside because I'll make a comment and I'll say, that's what we call in the industry as an immediate need for replacement.
Okay.
And then you know that in my and I'll say it and I'll smile, and then you'll know. Oh, he's laughing at me.
Okay, good to know.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the floor.
This ain't pretty. This ain't pretty.
That's immediate need for replacement. That's what we call that.
Right.
Yeah. There's a big hole in your floor here, man.
Oh man. Yeah, because I know we see a lot of that going in is of all right, like my house is kind of that way. I've got the beautiful original hardwoods that I love, and then I've got the old original Pergo in the kitchen, and then they did the vinyl plank out in the garage. And so it's just it's that little monkey puzzle.
You've piecemealed it together,
and we'll get eventually. Hey, and that's part of home ownership, and I'll eventually start doing the different upgrades. And
I like that because you're designating these spaces as their own spaces, and so I sometimes like to put in different floorings in different rooms because this is that room, this is that room. Don't get me wrong, there's something to be said about everything being uniform and looking great and having the same thing, and maybe just putting like a grayish carpet in the bedrooms and then having some sort of LVP or hardwood or a PureTech product inside of your all of the main areas, the hallways, all the wet areas, of course, the living areas, etc. But if you do a hodgepodge, do a hodgepodge. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you no. Whatever you like, what's best for you is best for me. Because if you're happy, I'm going to be very happy.
Yeah.
If I'm happy and you're not, then that's going to make me not happy down the road, right? So Yeah.
So also usually where you get started, especially if you're thinking about home projects, you're doing something else.
Sure.
You wander into Lowe's and Home Depot, and of course they have their paint section and they have their flooring section. So what's like some of the products that they have there, the support you get as opposed to, hey, we need to call the Flooring Rhino. What's the importance of, hey, let's give the Flooring Rhino a call to come in and give us an idea of what we're dealing with?
That's a great question, and I would never knock a company that I shop at, right? I shop at both of those hardware stores, right?
Yep.
Are they a flooring expert? Not necessarily. They might have a flooring expert on site, right? But for me, the key differentiator is when you give the Flooring Rhino a call, I'm able to come on site to your home and bring samples to your home to show you in real time what it looks like and what it's going to look like in your home. And I can do that within about 24 to 48 hours. I'm also going to do a full diagram on a CAD system that I have on a tablet with a laser. And I'm going to do a full diagram of your home and be able to give square footages and et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to be able to, mix and match or show you what it would look like if we do the whole house in this product, et cetera. I'm going to also be able to provide you with a proposal and I'm going to be able to place the order, and in many cases install within about another 24 to 48 hours, depending on where the product is.
Like
some of this is local; it's just down the street, so I can have Omar or one of my other installers go and pick it up, and do a will call. Or if it's in our warehouse, I got tons of this carpet just ready for all of your clients.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Just stock there waiting. So when we're talking about the key differentiator of what it's like to work with the Flooring Rhino at CS Floors versus going to one of the hardware stores, it's about time. And I know that your time is money. So when we're looking at like soup to nuts from inception to install, I can get things done in about a week or two. When you go into a hardware store, you're going to talk to one of the person. They then have to schedule an on-site measure with a third-party company. They all use third-party measure guys.
Right. And so there's a cost to it. And
there's a cost to that. You have to put down a deposit. They give it back to you if you place an order, but if you do not,
right.
And I absorb. I think that's part of the doing business.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to charge you any money for that. It blows my mind that they do that, but they need to recoup because for whatever they have high retail overheads.
Right.
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 So, and I understand that.
No, totally
so I use that against it. All right. So I'm going to be able to soup to nuts get you installed within about a week or two. It takes them a week or two before they can even get you a proposal. So that's really where it's at. If you are looking for a project and you get to see everything in your home, don't get me wrong, you can go in there and grab a little tiny sample.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bring out larger samples, right? I'm going to be able to measure everything. I'm the Flooring Rhino. I project and manage your entire project.
Yeah.
So that would be my main key differentiator. Also, I don't know if you've heard me. I got a really cool voice. No, now I'm just being stupid.
The DJ.
You're the I don't know what to do with my hands right now. What do I do? I'll just keep them down to my side.
The old FM DJ.
Right. So no, it's I'm a fun guy. I like to. Flooring is fun for me. It's a passion.
That's great.
I got 2 girls and 2 little girls. Well, one of them's an adult now, but that's how I feed my family is flooring. I'm passionate about it. I educate myself on it. And I love the big reveal of these projects when they're done. It's what I've watched too much HGTV, I think. And when I see the big reveal, I'm like, just get to the big reveal. I'm just,
come on.
Yeah.
I know, I can't, well, seeing the before and after what Omar can do is going to be really cool.
Oh, man.
What I'm noticing a trend. Like there's a couple of these large flooring showrooms are actually closing. We want that personal service, right? AI can't do this, right? We need human beings, just like selling houses.
Right.
We need human beings in there to say, okay, here's what I need to know. Like I learned a lot today because when I walk into homes, I try to find the boogeyman for my buyers.
Right.
And all right, hey, and a lot of times they have those ideas of, okay, why is there a price difference in flooring? And we deal with a lot of first-time homeowners.
Right.
And they really don't know what could be done here, what can't be done, what's some good ideas. Again, we want to do this in the basement. What should we do? So I think having someone, again, the importance of experience and actually walking in and going, okay, this will work here where this doesn't. Like I know some of those old homes, they actually have side drains in the basements because water still comes in, which again, that's totally normal.
And they know it's there. That's why the drain is there.
Yeah, but how can we still have a flooring to work with that? So I think, having the expertise that can actually go in. I know when we just had you down over in Puyallup, that beautiful view house we got coming up.
That house is
that
amazing.
One. Oh, yeah.
There's a whole other apartment downstairs.
There's a whole other apartment downstairs. We just found out you're going to take care of that one too.
Yep, we're going to take care of that. We're going to replace the sheet vinyl. Yeah, and I gave my expert opinion, and I explained. I go, yes, in many cases we can just seam seal this sheet vinyl back together. However, what I want you to look at is the actual tears that are in it. It was torn away. So even if I seam seal that glue and I glue that down, you're going to see all of those rips down that line, and it's just going to look like a glued down rip.
It's going to look like right. So what are you going to put in there?
We're just going to replace the sheet vinyl, and what we're going to do is we're going to skim coat over. We're going to do the proper floor prep. We're going to skim coat over everything with what I call a Utzen 886, and that's just a special cement. You stir it up in a bucket. And then you lay it out with a trowel, and you just do a real thin skim coat to fill in all the embossed, right?
Yep.
Fill in those cracks.
Right.
Fill those seams. everything, and it's going to quick dry in about 30 minutes, and then Omar's going to come in and he's going to roll out all brand new sheet vinyl.
Nice.
That's a little bit thicker, a little bit more cushion.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit better. Not like the old linoleum that's in there.
Right,
it's going to look better. It's going to for sure. We're going to redo the because it goes down into a sunken living room, right?
Right.
And so we're going to do a whole new end cap for the.
Nice.
It's going to look really nice. We're going to make sure we do all the transitions in between the bedroom that's there. And yeah. And
that's gonna be sharp.
And one thing that I got there, and I noticed when we walked into this hallway, and they had this sheet vinyl, they didn't have a transition piece from the cement to the sheet vinyl.
Right.
And the sheet vinyl was starting to peel up. Well, that's the boogeyman for me, because that's a tripping hazard right there.
Right.
And I don't like that. And so I said, hey, I'm gonna make sure that we put a transition piece, and I'm gonna end cap that off, and that's gonna look solid up against that thing. It's just those little things.
Right.
That I'm trained to catch.
Yes.
Right. And when I see, but I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. Because it's not about, I don't sell out of my own pocket. I learned that about 20 years ago.
Yep.
You'll hear me say it all the time. What's best for the client is best for me and my company. And I'm not here to sell you just something to sell you. I'm here to make sure that whatever's right for you. You have unique needs. Yep. I need to meet them end to end. That's what we do.
Yes.
CS Floors, walk on something beautiful. It's beautiful in both look and your pocketbook as well.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Yep.
I'm not going to just come in and say, oh, because I love hardwood, that you need to really install hardwood in here.
Right.
No, there's so many other applications that, especially if you're conscious and budget friendly. And that's just a real honest conversation to have with each other. And I'm not afraid to ask you, hey, is there a number that you're looking to hit? Because I don't want to be out of pocket, out of range here. Like, I want to find something, that's going to get you all of your needs. And for the money that you're looking for, we know that cheap will cost you, and you get what you pay for.
Right.
And if you have specific needs that you need and I can't meet them, I'm also going to be the one to tell you, like, I can't find a product.
Adjust the budget. Yep.
We have to find something. Maybe not. Let's take a room off.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe
we're going to do carpets, do this, and then do carpet. Or or this gray, just do, And
the cool thing is on the fly with my automated system, I don't do it on paper anymore. I can. I can drag the carpet into the room and show you, and I can show you in real time and how quickly it'll change. I give you some rough numbers before I go into the computer and actually, dot all the T's
punch
and
it in. That's
and
cool.
Cross the lowercase J's.
Yeah. So that's kind of where, like, you take care of people.
Right.
Everything else falls into place. Money falls into place. Just, take care of people, because that again, this is a human business now.
Yes.
Especially of making sure the right applications, and especially for my sellers, this is great information that I can share with them of, hey, you know what? Let's get Michael out here.
Yeah.
Let's just get a number. We can maybe use the Windermere Ready program.
Oh, I love that program. And it's perfect.
And we can then make sure that, it just shines and sparkles, when as we're gonna take it out to the world.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty neat. So, if someone needs to get a hold of you,
absolutely, call me directly. Okay. I have my Rhino phone. It's in my pocket right here. I got it.
What's your number?
There's literally a sticker of a Rhino on it. It's gray. Everything's great. So my phone number is 253 777 5725.
Okay, 253
777 5725.
Okay.
Yep.
Direct line to your pocket.
That's direct line to my pocket. We have a showroom in Gig Harbor. We also have one in Bainbridge Island. And coming soon, we're getting one in North Tacoma as well.
Nice.
So CS Floors, our slogan is walk on something beautiful. And we are extremely well known. Arguably the most popular flooring company on the peninsula right now, but we've also won Seattle's best flooring company for the past 6 years.
So the PNW is really your jam.
Yeah, that's our jam, and we want to expand as some of these other companies that you mentioned earlier, these bigger companies are closing down because of these huge overheads and the tariffs are decimating them, and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So we come in as more of a local, locally known smaller company, and we don't have some giant warehouse. These companies store everything locally for us. Why do I have to keep? I can get it in the same day. So we like to have lower overheads. But what does that mean to the client? Okay, cool. We have showrooms, but we're able to take those savings and pass those along to you as a client, and that's important. And not just saying it, actually doing it.
Right.
And that's what we do. But we got a showroom in Gig Harbor. It's at 5117 89th Street, Gig Harbor, Washington, 98332.
We'll put links in there so you can click a link and connect for you guys too. So,
but the most important thing is I like to come on site and really get. I got to look at the home.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't cost anything too, because
I'm not going to charge.
That's just great. That. Like that is so. You've got the showroom if people want to see and touch and feel ahead of time.
Yeah.
But then, hey, get out there and let's look at real applications.
Right. I might ask for a coffee. If you got a coffee, if you want to get to my heart, it's a Dr. Pepper. I don't drink, I don't do any of that, but I love a good Dr. Pepper and I love a good coffee. if you say, hey, you want a Dr. Pepper, I'm going to be like, Dr. Pepper, you say.
Yeah, okay. So you're a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper?
She's a pepper. Okay. The Flooring Rhino is fueled by Dr. Pepper, especially the blackberry Dr. Pepper. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Now we're getting it. Yeah.
So I will work hard to see if this can be sponsored by...
Yeah. Or you might have to edit that entire thing out.
Oh, no, that's the fun stuff.
Are they going to send us a cease and desist?
Probably.
He didn't mention the strawberries and cream one.
Yeah. That'll be the next one is Dr. Pepper flavors. We'll do another little collaboration on Dr. Pepper.
I like flavors. This one because it looks like a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay. Right. Love it.
I like this color and floor because it looks like a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Well, I really learned a lot today. Thank you so very much for taking the time to help us, help our clients.
Yeah.
Because it's about the old knowledge is power, right? If we don't know what we don't know and pulling in the experts, and that's what I love about being part of Windermere is if I don't have the experts, other people do. And so we can pull this great resource to make sure, hey, our clients are really well supported on the buy side and the sell side. So
that's the
really appreciate you coming in and taking care of our people. I know we're really excited to help getting that family out there coming up here in Puyallup. So again, you and Omar, I'm excited to see what
it's important. And that's, my final thought would be, and thank you, I appreciate the opportunity is to utilize a liaison such as the Flooring Rhino. Or anybody at CS Floors, utilizing that expert because we're going to be able to find the things that you don't know. My first year in this business 10 years ago, I worked for a different company. I don't have to name the name, but I did 3,000 jobs that I either oversaw as a project manager, as a sales manager, that I inspected for install or had customer service feedback on. That I had my hands on. It was 10 jobs a day.
That's nuts.
It was
That's
so
nuts.
busy
Wow,
that we had oversaw that many jobs. And I was like, man, and I got forced into being an expert into this business because of that. And then you just start to pick up things and you keep seeing things. So if it's happened in flooring, I've probably seen it.
Which is great. That's why I always look at like when a doctor walks in and goes, yep, seen it, done it,
right.
done 1,000 of them.
Plantar fasciitis. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you see the floor. It's prep, baby. Or go check your ice maker.
Prep. It's probably prep. Yep. That looks like somebody peed.
My buddy's been
You can tell that by seeing it? No, I smelled it when I walked in.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Oh, man.
Sorry.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job.
All right.